Pinpoint the purpose behind the communication. Communication is information with purpose. Therefore, it is possible to communicate well only if you are clear about the purpose. Albert Einstein quote and unquote, "If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough." In the business world, that is the concept called kiss versus kill. Keep it short and simple. You just have to hit on all the important points in the shortest time possible, rather than keeping it long and loopy or by going on and on about the important details. This, my friend, would definitely get you into better communication. Hi, we are the Group 4, and today we will help you to understand business correspondence. This includes the purpose of communication in business, criteria for effective messages, audience considerations, positive messages, negative messages, and persuasive messages.
Good day, I'm Raul Hermino Jr. Let us know first what is business correspondence. Business correspondence means the exchange of information in a written format for the process of business activities.
Business correspondence can take place between organizations, within organizations, or between the customers in the organization.
There are factors that affects how the company functions. This is called business environment.
These are ethics, corporate culture, interpersonal communication, technology, and trends. When it comes to trends, trends involve looking at the statistical analysis of historical data over a selected time frame and charting the progression.
Business of all sizes use this kind of data to help predict the future or help shape the strategic decisions.
This includes focus on quality and customers' needs, entrepreneurship, diversity, globalization and outsourcing, balancing work and family, teamwork, job flexibility, rapid rate of change, innovation, and concern for the environment.
Effective business communication is essential for success and growth of every organization. Unlike everyday communication, business communication is always goal-oriented.
Business communication helps you to determine whether your purpose simply is to reply a request, furnish updated information, or maintain contact.
You may be giving good or bad news, but either way, the message won't upset your audience. This also helps you to convince someone in your point of view.
To make someone change their ideas about something to resolve disputes. Goodwill messages are used in the workplace to show a sense of kindness and friendliness.
In conclusion to this, your company's success starts with communication.
Good day everyone, this is Serena P. Asuncion and I am going to discuss first the elements in business correspondence. So there are three elements: the audience, the purpose, and the message context. So now let's go to the audience. So audience is the individual or group of people whom the writer intend to address. So as a business communicator, you will be communicating to two types of audiences. The first one is the primary audience. It is the audience that your communication is intended for. For instance, if you are preparing an earning report, the audience is likely your senior team. They will review the information, give you feedback, and decide if you need to take action based on the information you have provided. So the second audience is the secondary. It is the group of people that are not real stakeholders in your communication. The same earning reports with the senior team as its primary audience might find other audiences in investors, stockholders, or even your competitors or the media. They may comment on your data or take action on it. So the second element is the purpose. The purpose is the reason the writer composes the paragraph. The purpose for a piece of writing identifies the reason you write a particular document. Basically, the purpose of a piece of writing answers the question, why? And the last element is the message context. So context is the circumstances surrounding a message. The circumstances might include the setting, the value position of the people, and the appropriateness of the message. This means considering your audience, the forum under which you are speaking, the era, the accepted norms, and it helps establish meaning and can influence what is said and how it's said. Now, let's go back to audiences to give you an additional information. So in audiences, there are internal and external. So when we say internal, it refers to go to people inside organization. Like for example, memo to subordinates or memo to superiors and peers. And when we talk about external, it means go to people outside organization. Like for example, letter to customers, suppliers, and etc. Now, let's go to the next topic, the benefits and costs of effective communication. So, the first benefits is saves times. Of course, in good communication among and between employees and managers greatly increases productivity rather than wasting time and clearing up confusions caused by a breakdown in communication. Workers can spend time on their job duties. So the second benefits is increases productivity. So effective communication is pivotal in increasing productivity because it directly influences the behavior of the staff and the way they perform. So the third one is to communicate ideas more clearly. So if there is an effective communication, then there is a clear ideas. And one way to ensure clarity in communication is to be more specific. Don't make it any more difficult for other person to understand what you are saying than is absolutely necessary. Don't use big words when small words will do. Avoid using terms and phrases that could mean different things to different people. And the last benefits is builds goodwill. So a positive attitude in business communication also helps build goodwill, emphasizing what's right with the situation and what can be done instead of what can't be keeps negativity. Now, let's talk about the poor communication. So, poor communication brings bad benefits. The first one is waste time. So, if the information is sparse, more time may be wasted trying to figure out situations and actions might be taken that are not completely adequate. So, second is waste efforts. So, with poor communication in the workplace comes lower productivity and waste efforts because employees don't have access to the people, knowledge, and resources that help them to do their jobs and do have the passion and motivate to perform well or even exceed expectations. So now, let's go to the next topic, the criteria for effective messages. So there are 5 criteria. The first one is clear. Of course, when you are writing or speaking to someone, be clear about your goal or message. What is your purpose in communicating with this person? If you are not sure, then your audience won't be sure either. So second is complete. So, in a complete message, the audience has everything they need to be informed and, if applicable, take action. It means that never leave your sentence incomplete. Each message must have logical conclusion and people should not be left wondering if there is more to come. So, third is correct. So, when your message or communication is correct, it fits your audience, and correct communication is also error-free communication. So the fourth one is saves receivers time. So to respect others' times, communication should aim for brevity and concision without sacrificing clarity and completeness. And loss is builds goodwill. So you can demonstrate goodwill by considering the concerns of the message receiver, focusing on what the receiver wants to know and protecting the receiver's ego. So this is what you call you attitude approach. So this is the end of my report, and again, this is Serena P. Asuncion from 3 Business Administration, Section FM4.
Here to report to you the solving business communication problem. Solving business communication problem. When confronted with an international business problem, manager must craft communication strategies that tackle the problem while also being sensitive to the cultural, psychological, and linguistic needs of everyone involved. First is gathered knowledge. Describe the process of acquiring knowledge. Gathering information does not even require new information, as sometimes one learns simply by looking through old information. In business, you need have to gather information to have a safe customer. Then other is brainstorm solutions, creativity technique used to generate large number of ideas for the solution to the problem. In a business, you need a team that have a brainstorming solution to have a plan. Then, the third is answer 6 analysis question. First, who are your audience? In business, you need a audience or the customer. Second is what are your purpose? To do this business, you need a purpose to know the audience. Third is what information must you include? Fourth, how can you support your position? Fifth, what audience objection do you expect? Example is the feedback that you need to the customer. What part of context may affect audience response? Organize information to fit. Revise draft for tone. Friendly. Formal tone calls for formal language. Find synonyms for thing, people, nice, good, bad, and interesting. Business-like. Always review and proofread your own business writing grammar. Tone is defined as the writer's attitude toward the reader and the object of the message. Write in an active voice instead of passive voice. Positive. Handout will motivate you to revise your drafts and give you strategies to revise. Second is edit draft for standard English. First, name. Effective manner is simple when you follow the rules of paper. Academic English, names of specific place, institution, and language. So the second one is number. For the draft edit, you stop writing, gather a number of pages together. With them, make notes, pronounce need correct, antecedent modifier must, not dangle.
Good day everyone, I am Kenneth Picalilab. Today I will report the 5 ways to create positive emphasis. The first one is avoid negative words because it will reflect or affect the person you are emphasizing. The second one is beware of hidden negatives. The third one is focus on what audience can do, not limitations. Why? To have a good and positive emphasis, let the audience have the freedom to speak. Do not limit what they want to say. And the fourth one is justify negative information by giving reason or linking to audience benefit. When we communicate, especially in business, to have a positive emphasis, let us explain well and justify to have the audience that they will benefit from it. And the last one is put negative information to the middle and present it compactly. Tone, power, and politeness. Tone, it is implied attitude of the communicator toward the audience. So how you will have a good tone while you are communicating in a audience. The first one is be a business-like, not stiff. What is the meaning of this? Be a professional in terms of communicating in audience. Don't be so stiff because it will affect you and your audience to convince them. The second one is friendly, not phony. Being a communicators to the audience, we need to be friendly to them and not phony. What is phony means? Not real or fake. Be real and genuine to the audience so that customers will trust our service. The third one is confident, not arrogant. We will see as a customers when a communicator speaks, we immediately know the difference between arrogant and being confident. And what they say is a way to convince the customers in a good way and not as arrogant person when it comes to the audience. And the last one is polite and not groveling. As a communicator, one of the most important things to do while you are communicating is to be polite in your audience because it will reflect on your company working. So the last topic I will discuss, our report is all about the bias-free language, and these are the words that do not discriminate on basis of the sex or gender, age, race and ethnicity, physical conditions, and religion. So the first one is sex, a term which implies that being homosexual, bisexual, or heterosexual is a matter of choice and that is the focus on a relationship. The next one is age. We need to follow general principles to ensure that your language is free of bias. Let's talk about age with inclusivity and respect. The next one is the race and ethnicity. Avoid stereotyping a race, nationality, or ethnic group with a specific religion. Be sure your communication do not patronize or give and take attention to members of racial or ethnic groups. Next is physical condition. To be a bias-free language, focus on people rather than condition, and does not discriminate it. And the last one is religion. Be sensitive to religion when referring to various ethnic groups. Don't make assumptions. For instance, just as not all Arabs are Muslims, most nationalities and ethnicities will embody religious practices. That's all. And thank you.
Informative message. An informative message receiver's reaction neutral. To convey information to which the receiver's basic reaction will be neutral, the message is informative. In the workplace, it's simply the sharing of meaningful information between the people in an unbiased and professional manner. It can be short or long, formal or casual, in tone internal or external in focus, and direct or indirect structure depending on the situation. The next one is positive message. If we convey information to which the receiver's reaction will be positive, the message is a positive or good news message, where the audience is expected to react in neutral to positive manner. Positive messages tend to consist or routine of good news. This message might be items such as congratulations, confirmations, directions, simply credit request, or credit approval. Primary purposes: giving information or good news to the receiver to assure the receiver. The next one is to view the receiver information positively. The secondary purposes: to have a better image for sender. To have a good image for sender's organization. To build a good relationship between the sender and the receiver. The next one is to emphasize some negative elements. Eliminate future messages on some subject. Managing informations. Give audience information they need, including all the infos that needed. The next one is consider your purpose, or being clear with what is your purpose is. Develop a system that lets people know what is new if you send out regular messages, or give them infos about the updates in the system so that there will be no trouble. Put the most vital information in emails, even if you send an attachment. Always send a duplicate or a copy of your mail. Next one is check message for accuracy and completeness. Always double check your details in every messages. Remember, emails are public documents. When emailing, make sure that it is a private email, not a public one.
In the business world, Delivery and calculation errors, product malfunctions, or refusal of routine requests and job applications are inevitable.
This is called an indirect message, bad news messages, or also known as negative messages. This conveys negative or unpleasant information. Information that is likely to disappoint, upset, or even anger the audience. These messages do not benefit them, and usually they experience disappointment or anger.
Delivering negative messages are very difficult tasks and never too easy.
But always remember, your reason to give audience negative news is to have audience read, understand, and accept messages, and also maintain as much as goodwill possible. And furthermore, you are able to build good image as a communicator, to build good image of communicators organization, and also to avoid future messages on the same subject.
In conclusion to this, we want our audiences to feel that they have been taken seriously, and your decision is fair and reasonable. And if they were in your situation, they would make the same decision. Once again, I'm Raul Arminio Jr. from 3 Business Administration FM4. Thank you for watching.
Hello everyone, I'm Maria Joyza May Rabano, and I will discuss the 3 persuasive patterns of organization. The first one is direct request. It is used when asking for something to be done or asking for a specific behavior. When you are requesting directly to someone, first, make it clear who you are talking to. Second, make your instructions clear, direct, and brief. For example, I would like for you to load the dishwasher in the next 30 minutes. Number 3, ask if they need clarification. Number 4, check back to see if behavior is completed. Give thanks if behavior completed, repeat if necessary. The second one is problem solving. Problem solving is an analytical process used to identify the possible solutions to the situation at hand. Making decision is a part of problem solving. Problem solving is a complex process and judgment calls or decisions will have to be made on the way. Decision making is a choice made by using one's judgment. The problem cause solution proposal is a 3-pronged speech pattern. First, the speaker starts by explaining the problem the speaker sees. The second one, the speaker then explains what he or she sees as the underlying causes of the problem. Lastly, the speaker proposes a solution to the problem that corrects the underlying cause. The third one is sales. Persuasion is a method of communication that aims to influence the attitudes, beliefs, or behaviors of others. In the context of sales, persuasion typically takes place when a sales rep is trying to convince a prospect that their product or service is the best solution for their problem. How to make a persuasive sales pitch? Establish a common ground, point out the benefits, turn objections into strengths, commitment and consistency, use the reciprocity principle, social proof technique. The next topic is why threats don't persuade. First, don't produce permanent change. Most change programs don't work because they are guided by a theory of change that is fundamentally flawed. The common belief is that the place to begin is with the knowledge and attitudes of individuals. Changes in attitudes, the theory goes, lead to changes in individual behavior. Second, may not produce desired action. The third one is make people abandon action. Abandonment issues arise when an individual has a strong fear of losing loved ones. A fear of abandonment is a form of anxiety. It often begins in childhood when a child experiences a traumatic loss. 4. Produce tension. Number 5. People dislike avoid who you threatens. 8 ways to deal with someone you can stand dealing with. Have a clear plan and mentally rehearse it. Practice self-care beforehand. Be mindful of your physical body. Don't personalize. Remember that you are loved. Try compassion. Stick to your boundaries. Enlist a comrade. Number 6 is can provoke counter-aggression. The next topic is choosing a persuasive strategy. What do you want people to do? People will do what you want when you give them what they want. The important thing to remember about the secret is that when you don't follow it, people will resist you, act against you, do the things you don't want them to do. A lot of times we get it backwards. If my boss would give me a raise, I would work harder. If my spouse shows me more love, I will show them more love. You have to give them what they want first, then they will follow through with what you want. What objections will the audience have? Listeners evaluate well-delivered presentations more positively than those that are poorly delivered. In today's world, presenters often face challenging questions and objections from listeners during or after their presentations. Surprisingly, while there are a number of theoretical reasons to anticipate how presenters respond to objections and questions will affect listeners' evaluations of speakers, little research has examined this. Number 3, how strong a case can you make? A good business case will explain the problem, identify all the possible options to address it, and allow decision makers to decide which course of action will be best for the organization. It will also allow any changes to the scope or time scale of the project to be assessed against the original purpose. The last one is, what kind of persuasion is best for organization and culture? When working with those from individual focused cultures, you should look first to provide some sort of value or to inquire how the resources and the help you have already provided are benefiting them before making a request. In collective focus cultures, however, it would be more useful to demonstrate to your audience how you are connected or known to higher ranking members of the organization before you make your proposal. There are two purposes, the primary and the secondary. The primary is to have audience act or change beliefs. The secondary are to build good image of the communicator, to build good image of communicator's organization, to cement a good relationship, to overcome any objections, to reduce or eliminate future messages. The last topic is building credibility. Be factual. It means that don't exaggerate. Be specific. If you say X is better, show in detail how it is better. The last one is be reliable. If project will take longer or cost more than estimated, tell audience immediately.